Hello friends, today I will discuss the problems on the synchronous motors. The data is given like this. A 208 volts 45 kVA 0.8 power factor leading delta connected 50 Hz synchronous motor has a synchronous reactance of 2.5 ohms and a negligible stator resistance. Its friction and windage losses are 1.5 kilowatts and its core losses are 1 kilowatts. Initially, the shaft is supplying a 15 HP load and the motor power factor is 0.8 leading. Determine A bit the value of armature current per phase and armature line to line current and the induced EMF for the excited voltage, and draw the vector diagram showing the EA and IA. B bit assume that the shaft load is now increased to 30 HP. Draw the vector diagram in response to this change in load. C bit is determine armature current and line current and also the excited voltage after the load change. What is the power factor of the motor under these new conditions? So this can be solved in two stages. Stage 1 is first draw the equivalent circuit and power stage diagram of the synchronous motor. This is the equivalent circuit of the synchronous motor per phase. This is the applied voltage V and RA is the stator resistance per phase and XS is the stator synchronous reactance per phase and IA is the armature current and EA is the excitation voltage. Next, stator, the power stage diagram is like this. Stator input, stator copper loss. Once we subtract stator copper loss from the stator input, then we get the what is called mechanical power developed. And once we subtract the stray loss means magnetic losses plus mechanical losses put together is called stray loss. And if you subtract this from this mechanical power developed PD, then we get the mechanical output or the shaft output. This is the first step that we have to keep in mind for further solving the questions. Step 2 is find the per phase applied voltage. So this synchronous motor is a delta connected system. In a delta connected system, per phase voltage and line voltage are both are one and the same. So we write V is equal to 208 volts. Step 3, find the motor output. So the load that is driving mentioned, that is 15 HP, and we know that each HP is equal to 746 watts. So we want to convert this into kilowatts. So 15 into 746 divided by 1000 will give us the motor output in kilowatts. So we are considering the bit A. So next, step 4 is find the input power. Means we have to add all the losses to the output. Output plus stray loss plus the stator copper loss. So here copper loss of the stator is given as 0 and the output of the motor just now we calculated, that is 11.19 kilowatts plus 0, that is copper loss for the stator is given as 0 plus the stray loss, that is mechanical loss plus iron loss or magnetic loss. Put together we are calling as 1.5 kilowatts. So once we add all these things we get 13.69 kilowatts. And we know for the synchronous motor the input power is given by 3 into V into IA into cos phi. That is the V is the applied voltage per phase and IA is the per phase current and cos phi is the power factor of the motor and 3 is the for 3 phases. So from this we can calculate what is the armature current per phase. So we know what is input power. Just now we calculated here, that is 13.69 kilowatts, and we know other parameters, that is applied voltage, and the power factor also we know. So 13.69 into 10 cube divided by 3 into 208 into 0.8. So that gives us 47.5 amperes. So here, see this 10 cube coming because we are converting this 13.69 kilowatts into watts. So in delta connected system, the phase current is represented as IA, that is 47.5, and whereas line current is root 3 times the phase current, that is root 3 into 47.5 amperes. Next step is find the excitation voltage, that is EF is equal to EA. So that EA we can write as V minus J into IAXS. So we know V, that is 208, minus J, and IA we calculated, that is 47.5 at an angle of 36.87 degrees, and XS is also given, that is 2.5 ohms. So once we substitute and simplify it, then we get 208.71.25 plus J95. After further simplification, we get 136.75 plus J95, and after further simplification, we get 166.51 at an angle of 34.78 degrees volts. So we can draw these parameters on the graph, vector diagram. This is EF, this EF is nothing but EA, and V is known, that is 208 volts, and IA is also calculated, that is 47.5 amperes. So next stage 2, that is B bit. So when the shaft power becomes 30 HP, means output is 30 HP, the induced voltage EA lags V by large angle delta, and EA is constant. So look at this. EA remains same, so it follows a circle like this. But only thing is the angle between that V and EA changes. So here it is less angle, here it is more angle, here it is more angle. So we can also draw for one case like this. This is applied voltage, and this is the voltage drop across the synchronous reactance, which is at 90 degrees with respect to IA. So we draw like this, and then resultant of this V and IAXS will give us EF here. C bit. After the load changing, electric input and EA magnitude does not change. So that is EA magnitude does not change. That is input power is equal to output plus copper loss plus stray loss. So we know what is the output, that is 30 HP. So 30 into 0.746 will give us output in kilowatts, and copper loss is given as 1.5 and stray loss is given as 1. So we add all those things, then we get 24.88 kilowatts. So we know that mechanical power developed is given by 3 into V into EA sine delta divided by XS. So from this we can calculate what is sine delta, that is P out into XS divided by 3 into V into EA. So we know all these things, 24.88 into 10 cube into 2.5 divided by 3 into 208 into 255. So here this 10 cube coming because 24.88 is the output in kilowatts. So to convert that to watts, we have to multiply with 10 cube. So once we simplify this, we get sine delta is equal to 0.39. So from this we can calculate what is delta. The delta coming as 23 degrees. So the induced EMF remains the same, means EF is equal to EA is equal to 55 at an angle of minus 23 degrees. So it will lag the applied voltage by this angle. And from this, once we know this EF with angle, then we can calculate what is IA1. That is new armature current, V minus EF divided by JXS. So EF, substitute all the values. V is nothing but 208 at an angle of 0 degrees minus 255 at an angle of minus 23 degrees divided by J 2.5. And after simplification, we get armature current as 41.2 at an angle of 15 degrees amperes. And because it is a delta connected system, line current will be root 3 times the phase current, that is root 3 times IA1, that is root 3 into 41.2 at an angle of 15 degrees. So we get 71.4 at an angle of 15 degree amperes. So since we know the angle here phi, so we can calculate power factor, that is cos 15 degrees is nothing but 0.966 leading. So that we can see here, this armature current is leading the voltage by phi. Next problem, a 208 volts 45 kVA 0.8 power factor leading delta connected 50 Hz synchronous motor is supplying 15 HP load with initial power factor of 0.85 lagging. Mechanical loss is given as 1.5 kilowatts and iron loss is given as 1 kilowatts and copper loss is given as 0. Determine the value of IA and EA and draw the vector diagram. B is if the motor flux is increased by 25%, find what is the excited voltage, armature current and power factor and draw the vector diagram. So it is just similar to the previous value with certain changes. So this can be solved in two stages. That is, stage 1 is first write the given data, that is here the delta connected system. So the line voltage and phase voltage are one and the same, that is VL is equal to V is equal to 208 volts and the power factor is given as 0.85 lagging, 0.8 power factor leading first case. So now, and he also mentioned what is the load connected, that is 15 HP. So we can calculate what is the input. So output plus all losses. So output is 15 HP, means 15 into 0.746 to get this output in kilowatts. So plus stator copper loss 0 and iron loss is 1 kilowatt. So we add that 1 plus mechanical loss is given as 1.5 kilowatts. So then we get 13.69 kilowatts. Next, step 2 is, we know the input power to the stator is 3 into V into IA cos phi. So from this we can get I phase is equal to P input divided by 3 into V into cos phi. So that is 13.69 into 10 cube divided by 3 into 208 into 0.8. So that is we get 25.8 watts amperes. So we know the power factor, so we can calculate what is the power factor angle, that is cos inverse 0.8 is nothing but 31.8 degrees and armature current, that is per phase current, is nothing but IA is equal to 25.8 at an angle of minus 31.8 degrees lagging. So next step 3 is what is the excitation voltage, which we represent here EA or EF, that is V minus J into IAXS. So this formula comes from the equivalent circuit of the synchronous motor. So we know what is applied voltage per phase, that is 208 minus J we know what is XS, that is 2.5 ohms, and the IA value we know that is 25.8 at an angle of minus 31.8 degrees. So once we simplify this, we get 208 minus 64.5 at an angle of 58.2 degrees. So once we simplify this, we get 174 minus J 54.8 volts. In polar form, it becomes 182 at an angle of minus 17.5 degrees volts. So this is the first stage, that is A bit answer. Stage 2 is, that is B bit is, so he is saying the flux is increased. So in that case, we know the induced EMF or excitation voltage is nothing but K into phi into omega, where omega is the angular velocity and phi is the flux. So here omega is a constant, K is anyhow constant. So omega is constant because the synchronous motor speed is constant. So automatically the excitation voltage becomes directly proportional to the flux. Since load is constant, so input power is also constant. So the EA1, that is a new induced EMF, will definitely increase, that is 25% is increased with respect to the previous case, means 1.25 times EA. That EA value we already calculated as 182 volts, so we multiply with 1.25, then we get 227.5 volts. Step 2 is input power, that is 3 EF into V sine delta divided by XS. This is the mechanical power developed. And once we know this is not the input power, it is mechanical power developed. Is given by 3 into EF into V into sine delta divided by XS. So once we know this, we can say, because input power remains same in both the cases, so we say XS is also same. So once we divide one over the other, then we get EA1 sine delta 1 is equal to EA sine delta. So new condition is EA1 sine delta 1 and previous case is EA sine delta. So from this we can say delta 1 is sine inverse EA divided by EA1 into sine delta. So once we substitute all the values, sine inverse root within brackets 182 divided by 227.5 and sine of minus 17.5 degrees will result in minus 13.9 degrees. Means this delta or EF or EA lags behind the V by this angle. And once we know the EA1, that is excitation voltage, we can calculate what is the armature current per phase, that is V minus EA1 divided by J into XS. So we know V is nothing but 208 at an angle of 0 degrees minus 227.5 at an angle of minus 13.9 degrees divided by J into synchronous reactance is 2.5 ohms. So substitute that, then simplify it, then we get 22.5 at an angle of 13.2 degree amperes. So this 13.2 degree is nothing but leading the applied voltage by this angle. So we can calculate what is the power factor under new conditions, that is cos of 13.2 degrees, that comes out to be 0.974 leading. And once we draw the vector diagram for this conditions, you can see here. So initially this is the applied voltage which remains same, and this is the initial induced EMF or the excitation voltage, and the initial current is IA, that is lagging by 0.8 power factor lagging, and EA1 is this much because the flux is increased means EA1 increases. So that is the reason why we get EA1 more than EA. and we calculated what is the new armature current that is showing as leading. So this IA1 leads the vector V by 13.2 degrees.